Hoi there! Haven't heard that in a while, have you? Today, we'll be covering making an outfit from scratch, but that's for the ones who stick around till the end. I know there are a lot of people who don't want to spend hours making clothing, so I'll introduce you to the lovely process of kit bashing. Not kid bashing, kit bashing. Fortunately for you, that's a very simple process, because you have me here, obviously. Not only can you be lazy, but you can look cute doing it too. Welcome to Booth.pm. I'll put a link down below. This is where all of the cool people get their avatars. The secret's out. If you scroll down, you might see something that's a bit familiar. This look familiar, maybe? Look like your favorite VTuber? This look familiar, maybe? But say I'm going to show you how to take advantage of this website. First, find something that you like. That might be free even. You could go up to the top and type free hoodie Vrchat and see what comes up. You could actually grab this hoodie from Noxma, and it's pretty cute. Let's take a look at something else. Something that I've already bought from. Oh. Well, this is not what I meant to click on. Did I just... Is this my own booth? That's so silly. That's so silly. Why would I do that? It's not like I have, like, really cool items on there or anything. Well, this is what I was meant to click on. See, I have this avatar. And, I already bought it. We can go down to here and look at the license, and you'll see here that I am allowed to make videos with it. So here we are today. Always check this before you use stuff on Booth. So I'm going to steal her outfit for this video. Obviously I can't give anyone the outfit because it's an avatar that you need to buy. But let's start over there, shall we? Right, in Blender you can see that I've done some minor things while I was gone. I did some texture work so she could have some nice underwear. And this is basically just using the techniques I showed you before with this layering situation, the mix shader. And as you can see that if I just plug this straight into emission, this material is just the body by itself, and this material is just the underwear by itself. The head also has some minor edits. If we go to Armature, control click on the body and then weight paint, you can see that I actually added the nose rig. So this has nothing on it, but this has some on it. You need this if you want to be able to interact with this in Vrchat. I don't know why, it just works like that. There's some extra shape keys that I added to make things a little easier. Here we have eye camera. Basically the eyes will always look at the camera. This is just an illusion. She's not actually moving her eyes. If you look to the side, you'll see that the eyes are just further in. The eyes are just going in and out. They're not actually looking at you. This is nice to have for making pictures of the model, and this is nice to have for just VTuber stuff. It's nice to have left, right, up, down, so left people right, left people left, etc, etc. Well, enough of the updates. Let's go to actually putting this outfit on her. So what we want to take from the model that we downloaded is, let's go to Haruki, is her outfit. So this, have it saved somewhere where you can find it easily. Go to your file here, and I'm going to save a copy of it. And honestly, you should save a copy of it too. It's your base. I'm just going to save as, and I've already got the name here, Haruki Outfit 2022. Save as. And now we can start editing this. So, go to File and Append, and you want to find your Blender file with the original model in it. Click that. I'm going to go and just import the whole collection. I can just delete everything I don't need after that. And then you hit append and it will show up over here. Right, so let's take a look at this. We don't want the ghost situation, so we're just going to delete hierarchy here. Right, now we have this. I want to make sure that this moves for a start. So we can go over here, select the right armature and just go to start pose mode. And it's moving fine with the rig. We don't want to mess with this rig much at all if we can help it. So you want to try to keep the rig intact. But what we do want to do is fit the outfit to the model. So first try to scale it from this point with just S. Try to scale it so it fits to a reasonable degree. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you have to move it backwards, then do that. From the looks of things, it does have to be moved backwards, so just G and Y. And you know what? Surprisingly, this is fitting decently well. So since this is in a decent place, I'm just going to Control A and I'm going to apply all transformations on this. Actually, let me just select all of this. Control A, all transformations. There we go. So now you can go into pose mode with this. Make sure you're on the right armature. This is armature 0.1. Well, 0.001. We go to pose mode. And we want the arms to match her arms. And you know what? Her arms are a lot longer too, so I'm going to S and X and scale this in the X axis. Just a little bit. Let me do that again. S and X. These are in a decent spot. Here we go. Apply as rest pose. Just because it's turning out pretty good. Apply as rest pose. Now we do need to move these a bit, so we'll go to the sleeves, edit mode, and I'm going to turn off connected only. I'm going to select this ring and just try to move it to a more appropriate position. I'm going to move it up a bit and across with the x-axis, and that's not bad at all. Into object mode, let's do the same with the dress. Unfortunately, this isn't perfectly symmetrical, so we're gonna have to do some parts by themselves. Now at this point, the only thing to do with this rig, the rig with the hierarchy outfit, is to delete the bones you 100% do not need. We can go to edit mode, and we definitely don't need any of the hair bones. Let's see what these are called. Left eye, we don't need this. Head, we probably don't need the head, but let's see. We can go to pose mode, see if the head affects anything, and it doesn't. And do these fingers affect anything? No. So we can get away with deleting the fingers too. What about the hand? Okay, the hand definitely affects stuff. Right, we might need to rename these bones, but for now I'm gonna leave it be. Do you know what, actually let me put them in a similar position to the other bones too. L is fine. Let's bring these two as well. GY, bring them forward. You don't want to mess with this too much. It's not ideal and it might ruin the rig a little bit. But it is going to be helpful to have it for the most part in a similar position. Now let's be even more specific. Let's get it almost exactly where it needs to be. As in pretty much exactly where it needs to be. But there, those are lined up for the most part. This, not really. And I'm thinking of renaming as well. Are these far forward enough? GY. Those are good enough. Right, it should be leg, knee, ankle. So I'm going to actually rename this to left leg. Oh gosh. Left leg. Let's see. Right leg. Let me see the original model, see how these are. Edit mode. Right, left underscore leg and right underscore leg. Left underscore arm, left underscore elbow. Okay. Let me just control A on this, all transformations. Edit mode. Just add the underscores to these. Right, let's do the join now. Make sure to save before you do anything. Go to cats, custom model creation over here. And we're going to merge the armatures. So, here we go. The base is our original armature, and what we're merging is the 0.001. We want to merge bones of the same name. Great. And remove 0 weight bones. Let's not click that. And we don't want to join the meshes, and you will apply transformations too. Should we? It shouldn't really change anything. Okay, let's do this. Merge armatures. Right. Now, immediately before you save, you do have to do a few things. So let's put this where it's meant to be, so just drag and drop, and then go to pose mode. These should now move with the body, which is great. That's almost perfect. Oh, we do need to fix the mesh a little bit. It's almost perfect. Oh right, the skirt. Now, because I'm not too fussed about this outfit, I'm not actually going to go in and fix the weight paint on it, but you would probably have to do that if you were serious about stealing an outfit. You could actually go in bit by bit and say, for example, you could separate this and then do here, let me show you. So we have this dress here. Go to edit mode. We're going to do this separately because we don't want to mess with the weight paint that we already have. So we'll do P and separate by selection. Go to object mode. You can go in perfecting things. So here we have the spanner tool, which is modifiers. What is this? Modifier properties. She's got the armature at the moment. We can do a data transfer, and the source can be the bodice. Vertex data, vertex group, generate data layers, and we can apply this. And when we go back to pose mode, it should move way better than it did before. But it's still a little glitchy, so just keep that in mind when you're doing that kind of thing. I'm actually going to undo that. Alright, so that's how to add an outfit that you don't own to your model. Well, hopefully an outfit that you have the rights to use. Okay, there we go. Right, and then you just export this as an FBX and upload it to wherever you want to upload it to. Of course, you'd have to change the shaders to match your model, but I'll do that later. Alright, now how to make an outfit from scratch. Let me delete these, because we won't need them. File, save. Making an outfit from scratch. The easy way to do it is to first start with a mesh that is just a copy of your bodice. Now you can just Control and D on this, or you can just go in to edit mode and select the stuff that you need. So we need this part up here and a little bit of the arm. So let's select that. Shift D, P, separate by selection, and we'll call this dress. Go to object mode, go to your dress, and I like to start with decimated surface. So this should be able to decimate without any problems, but we'll have to see that. So let's go over to materials first and get rid of all these materials on the dress. We don't want those. And no shape keys, great. It does have a mirror modifier on. Let's add a decimate modifier. We want to put this, let's just put it to the top so you can see it properly. We want to go to unsubdivide and do 2 iterations, 1, 2. Now, unfortunately, it is not decimating perfectly because of the extra lines we added. So let me see if I can make it less triangular. Let's go back into edit mode. Let's see what we can do about this. Let's dissolve these lines. Dissolve, and this extra line that we had. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's perfect. Great. I just need to delete the extra details you added to it. Okay, that's great. So we can apply this decimation now. We can put the bodice back on, and even though we just applied the decimation, we're going to go in again on the dress and add a subdivision. Subdivision, where is it? Subdivision surface. Put it up here and turn off optimal display. Right, let's go to edit mode. Oh, let's put on cage 2. Go to Alt S and make this a little bit bigger. Great. And I'm gonna try to first Control E and delete the seams. Clear seam and clear sharp. I'm going to try to copy this shape now. So this can go, delete, these can go. Right, let's take a look at what we've got. We've got a weird tummy shape that we don't necessarily need anymore. This can just be replicated with a loop here, then a knife tool here, and here, and then a dissolve here, X dissolve edges, and here X dissolve edges. Do you know what? Let's do this too. Dissolve, dissolve. Right, now we do have more topology, but it's a better shape. S said 0 on this line. Shift E and pull it and scale that inwards. The goal of modeling clothing basically is to create something that looks like what you're trying to make without physically making it as much as possible. So I want these to be connected to each other basically, because it's more convenient to have it designed that way. Because if you don't, then you have to worry about more clipping. And more clipping is not something you work towards. You work towards less clipping. Right, so now we have this collar situation at the front. I'm going to try to extrude an edge to it. So this is going upwards. Let's merge these together at last. Delete these. Try to make a reasonable shape. And up this way. So let's merge these. This triangle is not the nicest. So we can do this. Control R. Now as much as this edge is fine, I always like to have a better one. So I'm going to select this edge and extrude. And then scale it a little bit. Scale. Now this one will match this outline here. Let's shift an E on it. So the thing is, you just keep going with this design, copying what you see on the screen. I'm going to Alt V on this to give it another edge, and S to scale outwards a little bit. I'm going to select these edges, Control E and mark sharp. Yeah, this should be an edge too. This should already be marked sharp. I'm going to grab these as well. The thing is, it's fine to make these separately and join them afterwards. It just gives you a lot of issues to worry about regarding clipping, which isn't the nicest. So if you can make them together, save yourself the trouble. You just keep going for the rest of the outfit. The socks you can paint on or model them separately. I'm going to model them separately, and then everything else, you can either model these pleats or draw them on. I'm probably going to draw them on, but I'm going to model these pleats. So yeah, I'm just going to time-lapse the rest. You can see how it looks and see what you want to do on your model. Hey peasants, it's the perfect time for a voiceover. This video is either going to be very long or very short. There's nothing from this point onwards that I haven't already taught you how to do in the previous videos. So let's save us both the stress, and you can tell me in the comments below if you want me to post a full time-lapse video of the modelling and colouring process. Let's take a look at your timeline from this point on. You first continue to make and model the clothing from your reference art or photo, keeping in mind that you might have to add some extra topology where things bend or stick out oddly. Don't start making n-gons everywhere, people, especially if you're using the knife tool a lot. Right, we've done so much already. Let's take a closer look at what we have here. So this is what I showed you before the time-lapse. And there are a few things that we have on now. So the socks, I made it the same way as this outfit, just without the subdivision. I didn't find it necessary at the time. And also you can see here that none of these are on 0. The rotation is permanently altered as I wish it to be. As you can see, it's on a slight angle. Let's see if I can give you a good example. So if I R and X and then hit X again, you'll see it's at a slight angle. Now I can rotate it on its original X axis that I haven't changed because, as you can see, nothing's been applied. If I apply this now with Control A and apply rotation, for example, if I R X and hit X again, now I do not have the advantage of being able to rotate on that angle, and it's not going to be smooth as I want it to. So let's undo that. As you can see, because of the style of the avatar, the hood down is significantly smaller than the hood up. Even the ears are smaller. You don't have to do this on your avatar, but I find that the best way to have both hood up and hood down animations is to just have separate hoods. This edge is created by our modifier over here, Solidify. If you turn it off, it looks like this. If you turn it on, it looks like this. You can see the inside of the ears, but I am going to edit this later down the line and try to hide them with the inside layer. As of now, I'm going to leave this like that for as long as possible because it is quite hectic to work with. The hoodie shape I just made from a cube and altered it. First deleted the front, inset the bottom, and deleted a bit of the bottom. If you want a very easy, cheaty way to make the bottom side of an outfit look better, take advantage of this. Extruding and pulling that edge up and shrinking it too. You can now apply any modifiers that might interfere with the UV unwrap. The UV unwrapping process is going to be similar to the previous methods, using U to bring up the unwrap menu in the UV editing tab. Make sure to add a reasonable amount of seams for your clothing. If you're unsure, just think about how it might look if it were a pattern for a sewing project. Make some appropriately named materials and textures. Bonus tip is to test the bleed before you commit to the UV layout plan. 15 to 20 pixels seems to be a good amount. You might need a few PNGs depending on how complex your outfit is, and definitely use nodes to add layers for the shadows, highlights, and anything else that you might need. Alright, it's been a good 30 hours, 40 hours, I don't know. Let's take a quick goosey gander at what we have so far. Let's have a little breakdown of how far we've gotten. So, the outfit is textured. If you don't know how to texture things, you need to go to the earlier video. And this is the final texture that we've created from all the things that we have. But this is not actually what's showing up on screen right now. As you can see, that band is a lot more subtle than it is here. Let's go back to shading. Take a look at all these layers that we have. If you don't know how to do this, you need to go back to the how to texture paint. tutorial. And here is the final texture, so we'll just put the color into emission. We can use the alpha from the other one. And this is what it looks like, not too bad. Got a name now, Almi, which is a mix of Aoi and Midori maybe, which is a greeny blue. And something important you'll note is the hoodie is on a different texture than the dress and socks. Why is this? Because the hood took up so much space with the outside and inside layers that it just didn't make sense to squish them on one image. You'll have to make that call for yourself depending on what outfit you're making. And you'll see the skirt actually isn't, the pleats are not individually modelled, they're drawn on. Let's look at it like this. There you go. Your favourite part will be messing around with the poses when everything is rigged, but you have to rig it first to get to that point. If you made clothing, how I advised, most of the clothing topology should be somewhat similar to the base model, so transferring weights with data transfer should be pretty straightforward. You will have to do some minor smoothing since the transfer is rarely perfect, but let's not get ahead of ourselves yet though. There's a lot of parts that you added that might need to move, don't they? They need bones in a rig too, so be sure to get this sorted and shift A some new bones into your armature. Don't forget LR symmetry, left and right. Name them correctly and keep in mind that you might have to fine tune their axis if you need to limit some of the movement. I believe I showed you how to do this in the hair video. My secret to rigging skirts is parent the front of the skirt to children of the left and right legs. This will save you a lot of clipping and collider headaches. You're welcome. There are some further clipping hacks that you can implement to stop parts of your mesh poking through that shouldn't, but it can very quickly go from beginner to advanced. The truth is, twisting ruins everything, so don't try to weight paint your way out of clipping caused by bone twisting. You'll be there until you go grey. My go-to used to always be, do your best and then delete anything that you can't see. For clients' work, sometimes I go a step further and stitch clothing onto the skin using merge, so clipping is not even an option anymore. But the thing is, this takes a very long time and should be used as your last option. For this model, I tried something new. Shape Key Mesh Stickman. If you take the base mesh and use S and 0 to merge an edge loop to a central point, you can start to make a shape key stickman of your avatar. This is also a little difficult, but definitely an option. It's great for models with removable clothing, items, or outfit swaps. Your job now is to go back and forth with your Vrchat testing and make sure you're not dealing with any errors or awful clipping, keeping in mind that it's not easy to toggle externally rigged outfits with shape keys, for example skirts and tails, so noobs probably shouldn't merge them to the body for your mental stability. I did end up going above and beyond on this character and I'm not going to get into it. I highly recommend following Sippbox for Vrchat animation and SDK tutorials. It's the only reason I can do dumb stuff like this.
And plant a big smoosh on Naki's head like this. Mwah. And then Naki will be in love with you.
The benefits are, if you're making models for yourself and you don't mind a bit of clipping, you can do the absolute minimum. And if you watched the earlier videos in this series, you probably already know how to do this stuff. Tutorial-chan, aka Almi, is actually currently available on Rainhet.Booth.pm. If you want to buy her, the download comes with the textures, blend files, HD renders, Vrchat setup, and VRM for VTubing. You'll just need to download the Poiyomi shader from the Poiyomi Discord. I'll link everything down below, don't worry. This series is brought to you by my patrons, with special thanks to my grey clouds and grey skies, Eeyore Hee Haw, Silent K, Silias Mousehold, David LeBlanc, Soat, and Spud the Cat. See you in the next class. Farewell!